Okay, it's a little bit of let's follow on from yesterday. Now, well, from our work with Polkadot, we have our little chain going. We can see what's going on, and now let's want to talk about development. So I found this. Let me get to it. Here we go. So this site here, Inc. This is a site that I put that in that folder that will show you how to use, I think it's called Parity, their method of developing for the Polkadot blockchain using Inc, which is based on Rust. So what we're going to do is go through it and see how much we can go through it today. First thing we have to do is install the prerequisites. So, let's see, we have Rust. Okay, we have to add these. So I'm going to do a little copy the clipboard. Oh, they make it easy. And let's paste it. And it's going to do what it needs to do. And that was pretty quick. So let's go back and let's do the next thing. Let's copy the clipboard again. That's sort of a nice little thing to have in a website there. That little component is up to date. Okay. Now the next thing we have to install is Cargo. And let's go do that. And let's paste, and you can see it's doing that. This is the canvas. We need to use a canvas. Let's read this here. We need to use a canvas node built-in. Okay, so this is a pre-designated substrate node client. So we need to get into substrate at some point, but that is not for today. And it's doing its thing here. So once it does that, then the next thing we have to do is install the command line utility. So we're going to get that all copied. And let's see what's going on here. So, you know what? This is going to take a little bit. So I think what we're going to do, so as to not bore everyone, is to stop the tape and stop the recording and get back to it when this has completed its task. Okay, so we finished installing the cargo node, and now what we're going to be doing is installing, the canvas node. Now we're going to install the Inc CLI. So let's see if that is quick or not so quick. paste that in there. And a little bit quicker. It's only 153 items versus almost 1,000 or 800, almost 900. And after this is done, the next step here is to create an ink project. And that there's all, the source code is all for the ink project, the example, and you're looking at here the code. This is under the ink project. So as what we did the other day, you can download it from GitHub, and if you look at examples, they have a bunch of examples. New year, but the simple one that we're going to be looking at is Flipper. And this is a library. So it's libls, not main ls. Oh, RS rather, for Rust. And you can see, and we're going to talk about that it uses ink, which is the parity text language for writing the smart contract. It gets rid of standard, which is, from what I understand, pretty typical when you're doing this sort of application. So you got your objects, your storage, and that's simple. This is very simple here. It's just a Boolean value. This is your let's see, implementation, I guess. And you have two different constructors. One, if you don't do anything, and one gives you the opportunity to provide a Boolean. And it simply lets you flip the value of the Boolean or get the value of the Boolean. Now this is interesting. This is built in. This is tests that you can run, similar to JUnit if you're a Java programmer. And you can see you got your inserts, and it's testing the various items. So let's see how we're doing on our install. Nope, wrong one. Here we go. Hello. Here it is. And it's just about done. We've got about 6 more that it's got to compile. And then we should be able to move on to the next step, which would be actually creating the project. Test it and build it, and that is probably where we're going to leave it today. So it's just about finishing up here. You can see a whole bunch of stuff that's that's compiling in this. And this is, if we looked at that code, this is testing it. And I'm going to need to put the links for these pages in the description so you can have a look. And what's kind of nice is that they have a bunch of examples. So let's see, ERC20, which is a typical token. And let's tell them it's a contract. Okay, so as you can see, it finished building the cargo. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create an ink project. And to do that, we're going to run, gotta make sure I'm in the right directory. Which we are. And paste that on. Cargo contact new flipper. And flipper. And as you can see, this is what we saw earlier. We have our contract, and we have the storage, the ink language. We're getting rid of standard, which they say you need to do for this, as I mentioned, and all the things we saw earlier. So now that we have it, the next thing we have to do is test it. So let's go back and let's see if our test cargo plus nightly test, and copy that. One more. And we got our test result as it's specified here. And everything ran. So we're going to finish up by building our actual contract. So I'm going to do that. And go back. Very interesting that it builds up each time. And but we've tested it, we know it works, and now it's building. So it looks like our node has completed building. And now let's take a look at what we got. There we go. So we got, as you'd expect, our cargo, our TOML file, and you can see it shows our dependencies to ink. You can put in your author. It's showing that it's the 2018 version of Rust. You have Flipper. You have your, so that's the name, your pet. So this is a library. It's a librs. We have, let's see, features. So this is, looks like it's, I have to learn more about features, but you can see we got that. And let's look at our lib.rs. So I guess we looked at this before. So let's go into target. What do we got here? This is where we have what we built. So one thing I'm going to have to look at and learn about is the dot contract and the dot wasm. So let's see. Let's see what that says. Okay. I'll have to look up what that is, because right now it looks like some kind of big hash. And this is a binary. And in release, as you can see, we got the metadata. Let's see what we got here. Let me just check something here. Make sure. All right. Let's go back here. This looks like another binary. This looks like another binary we got here. So there's nothing in there. Let's see if there's anything in particular that we should, so you can see, okay, the metadata JSON. Here we go. Registry provides a string, storage provides an, okay, that's with the code. So let's go back down here and let's see. There we go. All right. So there should be somewhere so this is a JSON file. So what do we got? This is, so we got that. So it's talking about this constructors. So this is a JSON document that talks about what we've got building here. Let's see what they say about. Yeah, it describes. Okay, so let's see. It describes the metadata, the interfaces that can be used to interact with your contract. The registry provides the strings and types. The storage provides the items managed. And so let's go back to that. Okay. So spec docs name, messages, storage. So types. So we saw we had a bool. This looks a little bit, let's see, constructors. Here's the contract. Storage, registry. Let's see if we can find registry. Here's storage types. See, this looks quite different than, I wonder if the contract, we got a name and we got a spec with the constructors, name, messages, which we see here, docs, events. So the messages are here. So that's interesting. The seems to be under the spec rather than, see if I can find. No, I guess things have changed a little bit. Anyway, so we've now got it built, and what we're going to do next time is we're going to actually run a substrate node, deploy and build the contract, deploy and call the contract. These are the next steps if you look here. And so now we have gone through a full example of creating a smart contract in Polkadot. And we'll see how that goes. Since we're coming into the work week, may not do something that involved tomorrow. It may wait till Friday or the weekend, but that is the next step in this series of videos. So hopefully this has been helpful. I know it's longer than what I normally go, but I want to at least get to that part so it would be a bit more holistic. So if you enjoy it, if you found it helpful, please give it a like. And if you want to see more, you want to see what happens next, hit the subscribe bell there, and take care and see you next time.